So today I'm doing something that one of my subscribers wrote to me about, and I have to say, Richard, thank you very much for this, because if my van's going to be the same as yours was inside, you've just given us a whole heap more storage. So anyway, yeah, Richard, one of my subscribers, wrote and said, hey John, have a look what I've done in my van, I think it'll work for yours. And essentially what he's done is found a hidden space from the top of the drawers and underneath the sink that looks like it might be good for, well, a fair bit of storage. So this is one panel. Apparently there are 4 screws behind there, so I need to take all the drawers out. All those drawers pop out, and find where all these 4 screw holes are, take this panel off, and then these 3 separate panels, one at the top, one at the bottom, fixed in place, and make that one removable, and that's about the right height for where that space is going to be. So fingers crossed, let's see how we get on. The drawers only come up to there, which means this bit looks like it's free. So let's put the drawers back in and see how much space we've got in there, and see if this mod's worth it or not. So if you look at the space that's there now, put the drawer in, and then look at the space that we've got. There's a sink, that's underneath the sink, and that's the top of the drawer. So to put a shelf just over there is going to give us this huge amount of space. I just think that's crazy that they've wasted that much space in there. You know what my history with the manufacturer of this van is, and pretty much my thoughts all the time are the same. And one of them is poor design, and the absolute lack of understanding of camping and people that go camping, their needs, and the design of a product to suit the customer's needs. And that's just a prime example. That is a huge storage space there that you know, not being funny or anything, but it's just wasted for no reason, just because they couldn't be bothered to think of a different solution. So Richard also gave me an idea for the drawer fronts as well. They're Sanford ivory. They should match in with the rest of the colours we've got in the van. So yeah, the process now is to install those drawer fronts on the side here to make up, you know, a nice fascia, because all the drawer fronts effectively are finished off around the edges and everything like that, so there's no harsh edges. I could cut into that panel, so I could, if I wanted to, cut into that panel and, you know, make a hole the right size that corresponds with that hole or something like that. But it's an awful lot of mess, and then I'd be left with a hole in there, and I'd need to kind of do something about that. And I think for now, for the sake of £20 on these, if they are as close a match to the other materials as I'm hoping, that's the best solution. So we've got our panels, or essentially drawer fronts. There are 2 small and 2 big, and they are going to cover all that space. 3 of them are fixed, and 1 of them is going to be removable. We start off with a small at the bottom, then a big, a removable big, and a small at the top. And these are all available from B&Q, so there'll be links in the video description down below to where you can find all the purchase links, because I believe that this setup is the same in all T60s or T760s, T670s, the V-line, all that kind of stuff. You're going to find this problem, or at least that wasted space. So this is for all of you who own an auto fail T670 or 669, the V-line models 670 and stuff like that, this is going to apply to you too. So if you want some space back from your cupboard, and let's face it, it's a camper van, space is premium, you'll probably want all this, and it looks great as well. So I've got my bottom, middle ish and top panels all secured on now. I've got my shelf almost cut to size, and I've got the top drawer in for reference as well, and the top drawer just comes over that lip, so I need to do a bit of trimming off on this shelf. I've got some nice little corner brackets there as well, so put 4 of these on the shelf, mount the shelf in there, so obviously a bit of clearance on top of the drawers as well, and then we're good to go. The only thing that's a bit of a problem are those electrics and wires and everything that are going over the back there, so I do need to make sure those are cleared when I mount the shelf in the way. So there we go, the shelf is now in, the drawer is now set up, so drawers in, it's not going to move, and everything clears under the drawer just, so there's enough of a gap there. I've marked off on the back of this fascia board where the opening is, so that I can put some magnets either side or something like that, fix them on the inside, you know, there and there or something like that, so that then we can just attach it via magnets. Try and work on another solution with a handle another time, maybe, you know, drop and a hinge or something, but yeah, for now I'm just going to work on magnets, and yeah, all should be finished off, and then we get a lovely new big storage area. I do need to work out something at the back there, so that nothing falls down the back. So that's it, all finished off, all nicely installed, and probably overall about 2 hours work. Obviously drawers are all working fine now, and let's say we haven't really got a handle as such, just kind of pulls off, and on the back we've got magnet fasteners, and then the shelf. So nice shelf, put everything in there. Forgot I left my screwdriver in there. A little lip at the back there to stop things falling back, like I say, to put it around the other way, and that's it to put it on. So all nice and neat. So the magnets really do hold it in really well. It finishes it off, like I say. Might get one of those little catches on the end or something like that, just to you know, be able to hold it a bit easier, but I'm sure we'll get used to it. And I'm sure we'll get used to the extra storage inside too. So I did fit a fan at the back of our fridge to expel the warm air out of the back, but it just really wasn't powerful enough. So I've got this kit, which is more of an automated system. 2 fans, so twice the power of the old one, and these are okay for external use, so I can mount them further towards the front of the grill as well. You get a controller, which puts you in control of the fan speed, and also, crucially on this one, it has a little bit of a way of sensing via this little thermometer here that you place at the back of the fridge what sort of temperature it needs to start kicking in and then switching off. So yeah, a bit more advanced than my system of medium, low and off. And yeah, hopefully it'll all come through okay. My main concern right now is I need to drill a bigger hole through the side of the panel to get that connector through, which then splits off into 2 connectors, which then powers the 2 fans. You get some brackets here as well to mount the fans in place, and it comes on a nice little sort of aluminium frame as well. So it all looks quite neat. So you do get these full instructions and everything with it. You know, it is a complete kit. You can order bigger fans if you want bigger fans, and you also get some instructions as well with it. So everything is there that you need. It is a kit specifically designed to do this. So yeah, pulled it all off. Let's pull out the old fan, and just need to drill a hole through the side there and get cracking. So the fans are in place. Essentially what I've got to do yet is it's all wired in inside, so the controls all wired in. My wires are going up there, and then I've got this little wire here, which is the sensor for the temperature. So this really needs to detect ambient temperature and not the temperature from the actual back of the fridge. Essentially this should come on when the ambient temperature gets over kind of 21-22 degrees. So I need to put this down to the bottom and sometime in there that's nowhere near the exchange unit, so that the heater exchange doesn't cause this to run permanently. So I'm probably going to drop it somewhere in there, you know, down the back there. Plenty of space in there. The fans, I'm just going to basically mount them in the middle there using the brackets that have been given. Okay, so that's now fixed in there. So on the brackets to the side of the frame's screwed in, so that's now fixed in. All I need to do now is get those cables out of the way. So these cables just need to tucking out of the way. And the other thing I need to do as well is inside there, I don't know if you can see, but it's still the wood. So what I want to do is put some silver foil tape that I use for insulating sealant everything inside, the vapor barrier sealant. Put some silver foil tape down the side there, just to give some heat deflection really and protect the wood, make the inside cooler as well. And while I'm doing that, I'll protect those cables, get the cables out of the way like that as well. So that's everything sorted out in there. All the foil fitted, the exhaust fitted properly, the fans fitted properly, and obviously all the wire now tucked out of the way. So all we need to do now is really go inside and sort out where we're going to place that controller and neaten up the wires inside as well. So that's the fan installation now. That is the control panel for the fan. I've placed it out of the way because I've left it on auto 99% of the time. Auto is the best setting to leave it on. So whenever it gets too hot at the back of the fridge using the thermometer I've installed, that's going to tell it to switch the fan on. The hotter it gets, the faster the fans will spin until it cools down, and then the fans will slow down and stop working. So I'm going to leave it on auto. There's a minimal, and I'm talking like tiny power drain involved in that, so I'm quite happy just to leave it set to that. So quite happy with that. And yeah, tested it at the back. It all kicks in by using a hairdryer, so it kicks in, fans come on, everything like that works fine. So very happy with that installation. If you're interested in the fan assembly and everything else, the kit, links are in the video description down below as usual. Weird, isn't it? It wasn't like the last couple of weeks or so I'm saying, oh yeah, we've finished the van, it's all done now. And then you come across a few other things and yeah, more upgrades to the van. I think that's why they say your van's never actually finished. Absolutely never actually finished. So quite happy we've got the extra storage under here now. I mean, that was just amazing to get that much storage. So 1/2 meter by probably about 1/2 meter. Absolutely amazing. Just to think that that's wasted in there, and that's sorted it out now. I'm sure Mandy will fill it with all sorts of things, and I'll get no access to it whatsoever. But there you go. It's the kitchen area, so it's nothing to do with me. And the fan on the fridge, definitely worth the upgrade. I think it's about 60 quid or something like that. But to get the automatic controller with the thermostat switching on and off, and the dual fans, which are quite powerful, and the fact that they're IP55 rated, which means they're good against splashes, direct water contact, and dust as well. So everything you catch on the road, the fan will just deal with it. So there we go. So thanks for watching. Take care. Until next time. Bye.